movement is sabotaging the doctor-patient relationship.
I have mixed feelings about this whole, that the MAHA movement has sabotaged the doctor-patient relationship and that it has led to patients mistrusting the medical system. So in my experience, or I would like to go back a little bit in the history, are we forgetting that the opioid pandemic happened? Are we forgetting the impact of the extent of the involvement of people in opioid pandemic? Are we forgetting the role the doctors ended up playing? I know at the end of the day, doctors took the fall for it. They took the blame for it. But just as a doctor, what I want to say is that I don't think there's anyone in America who does not know somebody personally who has been a victim of the opioid pandemic. It has affected that many people. I remember looking at the data at some point when I was in training, and I saw that there were many years when the prescription opioids were responsible for more deaths than the street drugs and road traffic accidents combined. That was a huge toll on population health. That was a time when I would say if we wanted to blame something that what caused people to have mistrust of doctors, I would blame opioid pandemic. Because the pharmaceutical companies advertised it, people wanted it, lawyers weaponized it. If a doctor did not jump on board with the pain control and the pain management of the patient, and if they did not prescribe opioid to the satisfaction of the patient, those doctors were sued. And because of that, the doctors, their hand was forced to prescribe the opioids. The pharmaceutical company knew about the harmful impact of it. They kept it from doctors and the public and the government for a very long time. And I feel even after having sabotaged or ruined so many lives, the pharmaceutical industry pretty much got away with a slap on the wrist. So for any doctor today to claim that the MAHA movement is affecting the doctor-patient relationship, I really don't see how. In the sense that with everything medical community has been responsible for, I don't think I am entitled to trust of the patient. I have to win it. They have to come see me. I have to win it. I have to discuss all options. I lay out all the options in front of my patients. That includes lifestyle medicine options and medicine option. And I tell them limitation of my knowledge on it. So for example, for GLP-1, I'm getting the same deja vu that everyone is thinking of it like a panacea. And I feel like that's pretty much how the doctors who were practicing in that opioid at the beginning of the opioid epidemic felt. Like benzodiazepines were marketed as, oh, if you're awkward or if you're nervous or if you're anxious, just go ahead and take some Xanax and it will make you a cool person. Well, that's not how it works. We know so much harm that the benzodiazepine do now. We know now that it causes cognitive decline. We know that it can cause early dementia, fall risk, balance problem, and addiction on top of everything else. So same thing for opioids. We know so many problems that opioid causes. We are already beginning to learn a bunch of problems from GLP-1s like gastroparesis and slow delayed intestinal transit time, and maybe even like there have been cases of intestinal obstruction. And so for anyone to say that the patients do not trust the doctors, and that's because of the MAHA movement, I would say it's not very honest opinion. It's like with everything that has transpired in the country in the last 50 years, movement is like a toddler on an infant, like just learning to crawl. It's not even like it hasn't been that long since it started. Like the mistrust of the medical system and the doctors have been there way before that. And that mistrust is well placed in the sense that as a doctor, I only have the information that the pharmaceutical company has given me. I remember prescribing Paxlovid for COVID, and every time My medical system actually had me take a consent from the patient, and there was a disclaimer in there that this is approved under emergency use authorization. I don't know what kind of long-term harms it can cause. I don't know what bad things can happen from it. So that's the limitation of my scope of practice as a doctor. I don't know everything. I cannot, and if a patient asks me questions about, is this medicine my only option? Can I do it with lifestyle changes? I like to engage in a discussion about the lifestyle changes. If a patient from the MAHA movement comes and talk to me, I answer their questions. If they have a skepticism about something, I discuss all the data I have with them before I judge them.
Public trust. And the public is losing trust in our government because it is being captured by special interests like Big Pharma. And I say that.
So I also like this claim a lot, that the public is losing trust in our government because it is captured by the Big Pharma. So when we talk about Big Pharma has a budget that is bigger than the budget of many countries across the world. So by the same token, because their budget is so much, for Big Pharma, every cancer medicine that they bring out is a cash cow. Every pharmaceutical company has like different kind of cancer medications in the pipeline because they charge an exorbitant amount of money for that. So I feel that even if the government is not subsidizing Big Pharma for cancer research, whoever makes a cancer drug, Big Pharma has enough budget to do that research on their own, and whoever has that drug, they're going to bring it out in the market anyway because they charge a fortune for it. Like, I feel like we are all painfully aware that there are donors, there are people who buy the politicians, and the politicians vote on certain regulations and stuff like that. So Big Pharma and interest groups and the money that the politicians can make in the politics is so much. If people have skepticism of government policies, I feel like that's pretty natural.